Yo, yo, yo.
There you go.
And hello and welcome. See, the problems are still there, folks, but we're more professional about it.
We know about them.
We're aware of them, and we are aware that we cannot fix them.
Evan.
Dear Evan.
Hanson.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hello, chat. Good to see everyone. How are you all going? How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Cool jacket.
Thank you.
Cool jumper.
Thank you, my bro.
Cool jumper.
Thank you.
It'd be cool if it was pink.
Well, that's what you think of your club.
Very
with your
groovy.
Christian Petrarca and Jamara Ugelhagen. We'll get to that.
I think that they just use us as like a bargaining chip, you know, like they did with Kerno. It turns out he was like, where was he? He was Collingwood all the time or whatever.
Players want to go to places that are going to have a premiership in the next 5
Disagree.
years.
Yeah, I disagree, and I agree with you.
Then why did he leak Gold Coast after, and it turns out the whole time he wanted
Who?
Charlie. Where's he going now?
Geelong.
Geelong. So he knew he was Geelong in May, but in like August he leaked Suns.
He didn't know he was Geelong. He's just said, I don't want any challenges in my life. I want to go.
Have a farm.
Oh my goodness. Maybe I should wait till we're recording, but I thought it was so funny. Hopefully I screenshotted this tweet that I saw. No, maybe not. But Merritt has nailed his plan execution perfectly. Meets with Lloyd Hurd Watson mid-year. Hatch the plan. Make noise outside the club to put pressure on. Fall on your sword. Pressure builds. Welsh executes the takeover and Zach has sacked the president. Brilliant. You think the footy players are that smart that they're like, they've got a 10-step plan to what? Stay at Essendon?
Funny
what
you say
talking
that,
about?
because last year, Merritt's kind of done exactly the model of Petrarca last year.
Yeah.
But
Forced
he's
exit.
still there, but he got a CEO and president removed.
Yeah.
And eventually, the coach was the last. Yeah, everyone's gone.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Steve,
not gone.
Max gone. Look at that. The umpires. All right, let's crack in, shall we?
Yeah.
I'll
this
give you
is
a
all
point,
hot
and
stuff.
that's when you do your.
Oh, you want me to do a thing?
Yeah. All right, everyone good?
Yep.
We're here, folks. It's the last day of the working week if you're in Victoria. Tomorrow, you can lie on the couch. You can go to the river. You can go to the shops because it is grand final weekend. It's the 2 best teams if you are a boring person. Oh, yeah, we're revved. It's the footy with Marns. Let's do it. Bounce that. You know the word. Pill. Pill's the answer. What'd you guys think of my intro?
Can I have a note?
Well, yeah, please.
You can go to the AFLW?
You can go to the AFLW Friday,
Yes.
a bit of Saturday,
No.
no Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
It's a AFLW sandwich.
Come hang out with me on Friday night at Whitten Oval.
Ooh.
Fun.
I'll be working. Don't actually hang out with me.
Good to see you all. Happy, what a long year it's been.
Yeah.
And we're at the home stretch of the men's, and then we've just got W for the rest of the year, but then also trades, but then also the draft, but then also the Darwin season that we're going to cover. Hello everyone. Good to see you. Tom, this episode's sponsored. You go for it.
This episode of The Footy is brought to you by the TAC. Stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. A message from the TAC. Now, of course, Broden,
What?
you could also go swim in an ocean a few kilometres on Friday if you have the day off.
Are you across what's happening here, mate?
I mean, I listened to the Monday episode, but I thought we were against putting Tom in the water.
So yes, he's been messaging me every day saying things like, what about this beach? What about this beach? And I say, I don't know.
And he just ghosts me. And I'm like, well, I'm forging ahead.
And then yesterday he messages it quite late. What did you message?
I said, I've just been to the pool. Distance is not an issue.
Wow.
Did 1,500. I haven't been in the pool for 15 years. Did 1,500 metres. No worries, mate. Like it was yesterday.
Okay, but swimming in a pool and swimming in an ocean is very different.
I agree. But that's the thing. It's distance covered. The fact that it's in an ocean, not covered. The fact that it's really cold, not covered. The fact that Broden needs to stream from a boat, not covered.
This is the insanity of so. Which beach did you want to go to now?
So I've landed on Williamstown because it's only 20 minutes from your house. So you can't get upset about having to go too far to Lawn. And then from there, apparently people do ocean swimming all the time. And there's 2 buoys. And if you swim out to the buoy and around, it's like 700 metres.
I'm genuinely horrified.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Lucy is going to come on a canoe.
Lucy.
A 21-year-old.
Lucy that eats 11 eggs a day.
She wants to help because she's also running for the same charity. So she wants to come. And I was thinking she could be in a kayak in case I drown.
If you want to give...
What is Lucy? If you're drowning, what do you think Lucy's going to do in a kayak?
Just to grab... I'll be able to grab
You think Lucy can pull you out of the ocean?
I'm not worried about drowning, but I'm worried that I will run out of breath.
And then what happens?
And then put one hand on the kayak.
And then drown Lucy?
No. I would be very careful not to drown Lucy.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm supposed to be flying to overseas the next day. And
so am I, apparently.
Yeah, you'll be dead.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You'll get sick and then you've got a world tour, Tom. You're literally flying to... You can't...
No. What you guys understand is weight for weight. There is no one in Australia at my BMI who can swim as fast and as good as me. I am Australia's best obese swimmer.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
And if I can find someone who can swim better than me that's my BMI, but also has Crohn's disease, I will genuinely eat a raw fish.
Oh, fuck. Why that?
Stop saying
I'm thinking about the ocean, all right?
Stop trying to kill yourself.
I'm not. I think it'd be so good, and people donate because no one's donated to stop me. Bren said if people donate 20 grand, then I don't have to do it. But
how much more money do we have to reach for you to not swim in the ocean?
Yeah, you and me can just put the money in. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you want to donate, go to our link tree. It's there. Donate. There's the team has done the money, but you haven't yet.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone for donating for that. And this might be Tom's last pod.
Yeah.
How are you, Marns?
Yeah, I'm all right.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
Are you going to do offside? Are you on offsiders this week or anything like that?
No.
Great. Just pure footy.
Yeah, boundary for W on Friday, men's grand final Saturday, W Sunday, news breakfast for 4 a.m. start Monday.
Cheapers.
Anyway, it's all right.
But it'll be great.
Yes. I don't want to also lose the gratefulness and appreciation of getting to work on this thing that I love.
It's a big week, biggest week in footy. I'm sure there's plenty of news to crack into. Shall we do it?
Yeah.
It's time for the news with Marnie. Vinyl, hit it.
Yeah.
So much. I've already changed my tipping for the weekend, but we'll get to that. But Marnie, what should we start in on?
It feels like we have to start on the men's season's night of nights, which is the Brownlow. So Gold Coast Sun star Matt Rowell won this season's coveted medal on Monday night. It's very important, I think, to say up top that Rowell is a fantastic player and he was always in contention to get the medal. And there is a lot of talking points from the night and there's a lot of controversial polling that happened and there was some very silly rounds and a lot of that contributed to Rowell having such a strong lead. But I do think it's important to say he is such a good player because even all this conversation the following day in the wash-up just being like, we need an overhaul of the system. Like, imagine winning the Brownlow, the most coveted medal in the men's season, and then just everyone being like, oh, get rid of the system. It's obviously broken.
100%.
And there is threads to pull. So Rowell polled a perfect 12 votes from his first 4 matches of the season, which is a record, by the way, which just gave him a lead that everyone else couldn't surpass. Nick Dacos briefly tied with him. But by the end of that round's end, Rowell was back in front.
Hell yeah.
But there was 3 rounds where Rowell collected 3 votes, but he had 16 touches, 17 touches, 18 touches. And it is also important to say that disposals are not everything, and they are not a clear indicator of who is best on ground. However, there was one game where he wasn't in the top 20 touches, and of those 3 games, he didn't record a single coach's vote, yet collected 3 votes for the Brownlow. So there's arguments to make there that it was a surprise. It was a surprise to see him get the 3 votes for those 3 games, and to be out in front of 7, like to finish 7 votes clear of Nick Dacos, a lot of people found very surprising. And then the biggest singular moment of disbelief of the evening was, of course, when Nazai Wanganeen-Millera got only 2 votes for the round 20 win against Melbourne, a game we all remember very fondly.
No.
And so that, along with Dacos not winning, has been the 2 biggest talking points, because Dacos was widely considered as the pre-count favourite, and he's finished runner-up 2 years in a row, and is now the youngest player to ever reach 100 Brownlow votes. Just love the Richard Goyder. Even the first thing he says is not congratulations to Rowell. On the night, it's congratulations Dacos, and then starts talking about Matt Rowell. It's crazy how much Dacos has just been the story. Even on Agenda Setters, the question was raised, should there be medals for 2nd and 3rd in the Brownlow, with Andrew Dillon saying Nick Dacos has come top 3 years in a row, and that should be celebrated rather than commiserated. A debate that fans have widely pointed out would not be happening if it was Rowell that got 2nd and Dacos that got 1st.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the Richard Goyder announcement. That's never been done before. And nothing says complete and utter Vic bias than that. Why did he say, first I want to acknowledge the guy who finished 2nd?
It was honestly mad.
Why did he do that?
I think he must have prepared a Nick speech, don't you think?
No, I don't. I just think that I just think it was clear bias to the biggest club in the thing, and them just being a bit sour about it. Because I was driving home as well and listening to the radio, and the guy was just saying, umpires, you're done, no more voting. Like, people just, I understand. I've been off the Brownlow for the whole time I've been doing this podcast, because I think the voting is wrong, and I've been saying it for a long time. But the hop on this year, when it's just from a club that people are not interested in talking about, I thought was really, really bad. Like, clearly this year, I think it was like the Coaches Award is what the better one is. And if you say Bailey Smith and Noah Anderson were the 2 best players this year, then that kind of makes sense to me. But I don't agree that Dacos was the 2nd best player this year either. I think he was definitely down on his form. So if you want to be really real about it, that's where I sat. I thought that was insane.
Yeah, I also thought it was very bizarre. Also, a little bit, my feeling goes out to Rowell, where it was, I don't know, when Cripps won it 2 years in a row, we found out all of this information about him through the speeches. And it was and all of the stories that were written about Cripps. And it was just like, it was very clear there's this wealth of knowledge that we have because we've gone to the effort to find out. Rowell wins it, and it's, so you eat grass? On every single network, every single channel, everything. It was the only thing. And I get it. It's a strange thing, and it's obviously a big talking point. It's not the only thing about that man.
No, this is an opinion piece that I'm about to say.
Great.
But I actually heard recently at the Austin Hospital for sedation, they've found like a new technique that works better than anything else to get people ready for operations, puts them under. Is Hamish McLaughlin interviewing someone. They just get some footy around. 3rd quarter, you're down. You come out. What happens next? And they're out. Like that. Just like that. That's just an opinion piece from me. But but the other thing as well is, you are right about the disposals. Like, that's the worry for me of just giving them the stats, because there's that game where he got 15 touches, and then I'm like, well, that makes no sense. But when I hear he got 18 tackles in that game, you go, that's hugely impactful on the game. And also, he's a ranger, so he stands out.
But also, isn't he the player that's bumped the umpires the most out of anybody?
He was. Yeah, so he never yells at them.
He just accidentally hits them. Totally. But also the stat sheet argument for like Naz's game. It's just like, how could you possibly look at 34 4 goals, 2 goals in the last, I mean, I know you're not going to get the timeline of the goals in a stat sheet, but 2 goals in the last whatever it was to win the game. You remember, Broden?
I do remember. What my thinking was right, because Viney was, for the whole, look at me go. For the wholeness of that game, Viney was better.
He was incredible that game.
He the whole game just dominated, right? And but not Isaiah Wanganeen was the best player in the game because he won it by himself. So clearly he's the best. But when you look like, if you're the umpire and you're not even supposed to take notice of anything that's happening, when you look at it from that like pure that respect, then maybe there's an argument for it, but there isn't.
My colleague made the very good point to me as well, that umpires run more than like players on the field. So they are exhausted at the end of a game. They are so fatigued. And then it's like without any help, any assistance, who was best on ground. Like it is a bit of an ask.
I went to the myotherapist yesterday and we were talking about it as he fixed my spine or my back.
Lovely.
And he was saying, I was like, it's the equivalent of you doing this for an hour to me and then me asking which song that's been playing was your favorite. Like, you know, like of all the songs that have just been playing in the back. Well, it shouldn't be their number one job, and it isn't their number one job. And it makes sense that they just go, Dacos or the Ranger. That makes the most sense to me. But yeah, no, it's silly. I reckon they'll give them the stats next year.
Really? I don't know.
It's been happening for a decade that it's been bad voting. For a genuine decade, it's been bad voting. And now, because a non-Victorian guy won it, they're going to change it, I guarantee you. But that Richard Goyder thing blew my mind. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah. Any thoughts or feelings, mark of the year, goal of the year that you wanted to discuss?
It's the same as always for me. I don't think even the best marks of the year were nominated.
Yeah,
And
well,
best
mark
goals
of
as
the
well,
week,
so weird.
mark of the year wasn't even a mark. Like
Yeah.
Sam Darcy himself said he didn't have enough hands on it.
I agree with that one too.
Yeah.
That's the Melbourne.
Yeah, it's like one of those ones I didn't pay any attention, but then I went on Twitter and saw the outrage team, and like, yeah, they had so many highlights of so many better ones, and I was like, why weren't they even nominated? It's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But there is an argument. People just were like that Noah Anderson one's is pretty straightforward. But it feels like a purist goal of the year nomination in that he just himself won that game against. I remember that was unbelievable that moment, but it wasn't Trixie.
Yeah, well, I like for goal of the year. Are we going for this? Is technically the most technical goal, or this is the most unbelievable fun? You know.
Yeah, it's like with Chloe Malloy's. It's Chloe Malloy's goal of the year for the W. When it was like a hope and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it probably is at the moment.
The other thing that we found out about Rao that most people probably already knew is that he went to Carey. I loved so much. So the Age had a headline that said the Brownlow's top 2 went to Carey. This is the key to the school's footy success. And I was like, oh, it'll be money. I bet the answer will be money. Nowhere in the piece does it mention that it can cost between $40,000 and $42,000 per year for year 11 and 12s at that school. The answer is money.
Yeah.
Like, let's not pretend that it's anything else.
It's a strange structure where the process of it's very American actually, where the process of getting into a professional career in the AFL is going to a private school. It's, which is wrong.
Yeah.
They get scholarships, a lot of them, but then I always think, I've said this 100 times, but like the really good ones get free scholarships to these schools. But then I think there was an interview with Jaden Hunt, who went to a private school in Melbourne, and he was like, I didn't even know if I was good at football, I was just really fast. But he had essentially, and I'm sorry if I'm saying the wrong, this is what I took from your interview, Jaden, a decade ago. He essentially had a private school sports teacher like grab him and say, I'm going to make you a football player because you're so fast. Now, if that same skill was given to some kid at Thornbury or Epping High, what could be is what I think. It's the kids from the privilege who are peripherally getting the better opportunities because Matt Rowell and Noah Anderson are put into these schools. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Agree?
Yes, 100%.
It should be nothing compared. I have private schools getting government funding is a whole other thing for me that pisses me off to no extent. Like I could get into that for ages, but send me emails about how I'm wrong, please.
Yeah. I had this thought the other day that they should, that people will hate this, but I'm happy to put my name to it. I had this thought the other day that they should get rid of father-sons and just do academies for everywhere. So if you have a father-son coming through, they can play in like the D's Academy or the Collingwood Academy or whatever. And then that way it would be less of like a private school system. All the good kids would play for like the academies and everywhere could have academies. Thought that could be interesting. Haven't fleshed that thought out, but I like it.
Will never happen.
No.
Father-son.
No, but it accounts to the same. It equates to the same thing, right? If the academies have the first access of father-son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Poppy Penny, I hope you're listening. Murphy Reid took out the Rising Star Award. He was the runaway winner. My goodness, I'm getting my R's and W's. He was the runaway winner over Dan Curtin and Levi Ashcroft. Reid pulled 5 from 9 of the 10 judges, with former Collingwood legend Nathan Buckley the only one not to give Reid the maximum votes. This is the second year he's done this the second year he's done this after Harry Sheezel was the runaway winner in 2023, and the only one who didn't give him maximum votes was Buckley.
Wow. So yeah, Murphy Reid was. Who are the? Do you have there? Who are the 2, 3, 4, 5?
Dan Curtin.
Second-year player.
That's so far. This was the one that blew me away. Not because I don't think Murphy Reid is good. I think he's fantastic. I just really surprised that the judges went with him over Curtin.
Really? No,
Yeah.
it was Murphy.
No, I felt like Murphy just had those handful of awesome games, but Curtin was just so good every game. It felt like.
I don't know who third was. I know Harvey Langford was fourth.
Third was Ashcroft.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's what I wanted to say about the private school thing. For right or wrong, and I don't know if the app is genuinely good or not, but my best friend Will Ashcroft, my 21-year-old friend Will, is making an app that helps you when you're in high school train to be an athlete without guidance.
He has all these TikToks about how to be an athlete.
Yeah, he pitched it to me. It sounded really good. I said, that's good, sir.
That's sort of what I'm getting at. If it's like the only pathway to AFL is to play in private schools, then make more pathways. So more academies, more alternatives. Meh.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Murphy Reid is a speculative pick as well. Wasn't he in the 30s or something like that? No, he was much earlier. He was lower. He's in the 40s. He was in the 20s. He's in the 10s. He was in the 10s.
Cool.
Was he really? I didn't know that.
I just knew that. Every time I look over at that corner of the room, I think of things that I know.
12. 7. 7.
7th.
17th.
We are good.
We are so clever.
Yeah, that's the end of the first round, technically.
Yeah.
Last thing on Brownlow night, unless you want to talk about the fashion, is
The feathers dress was very interesting.
I liked it. Yeah. That was Noah Anderson's partner, who I don't know her name, but she looked great. Also, I think it was very important that Noah Anderson has such an animated face, because he really helped when Rao won, and I don't think he was really ready to win. By the time it got to that point, but maybe going to that, I don't know, because Noah just did a lot of heavy lifting for the joy when that was announced. Yeah. Also on Brownlow night, Harris Andrews, the Lions co-captain, was honoured with the Jim Steins Community Leadership Award for his community work to help create safer and more respectful communities. It was honestly a really big highlight for me, the 5 minutes in which he spoke about this. His focus has been on empowering young people, particularly boys, to develop emotional intelligence and reject violence. He's been an ambassador for Beyond DV since 2018, engaging directly with vulnerable young people and volunteering to support people impacted by domestic and family violence. And it is so crucial that we have men in the spotlight who are revered, being championing this so heavily.
Yeah, no, and it was really nice to see the comments being just really complimentary of him being there and doing that, but also just to bring light to it. But then also you wrote an article that came out today about this weekend and about NRL Origin games and the rise of calls into domestic violence hotlines that correlates with these big games and is a genuine issue.
Yes. So the ABC for the foreseeable future will continue to be doing this piece, I think, year on year, because it's a problem that doesn't seem to be alleviating at all. But domestic violence support services are preparing for an increase in calls this weekend, which obviously coincides with AFL Grand Final. Victoria Police are preparing for a 20% spike in violence against women ahead of the AFL Grand Final, and that's according to National Violence Prevention Organisation Our Watch. We also know from Origin stats that this is a problem that also exists in the NRL, and we know from the research and the stats that this is something that exists for all big sporting events. We see it in football, like soccer football, globally. And one piece of research that I wanted to highlight is the research by La Trobe University that found domestic assaults in New South Wales increased 40%. In State of Origin nights also found that there is a 71% increase in non-domestic assaults during the weeks around State of Origin series. And I think that's important to highlight, because I think a lot of people can just kind of wash their hands, or their, metaphorically, their brains from this and say that's an issue, but that's not something that involves me. But it is. This has happened like 71%, and this is happening because of the high prevalence of disrespect towards women in all corners of the society that we all exist within. And it's so easy to just think like that's so far from me, and that happens in circles that I'm not a part of. But we are all a part of a society that continues to perpetuate really sexist stereotypes, that continues to have attitudes and behaviors that are drivers of what eventuates as this kind of as gender-based violence. I mean, even just I posted, the article that I wrote on my Twitter, and then someone said, I'm sure alcohol contributes to this, which yes, alcohol is a massive contributing factor because you're pouring gasoline on a fire. And then someone immediately wrote all the lippy misses. And it's just like that kind of notion of women having that kind of role is so commonplace, especially I found this week really, really hard. Even like Brownlow night, like I found Brownlow night really hard when it is just the comments about women. Because this is the like space that I choose to work in.
Yeah.
And like, how are we all still talking about women like this? And putting the horrible comments aside, it's still like the only way that we view women when it comes to AFL is they've got to look really hot on Brownlow night, and we're just going to spend the entire night critiquing them, or the Dally M night, or the like annoying misses. Like that's the only two roles. Like interrupting time with the boys. Like that's the only two roles that we actually see women.
Yeah. It's awful, particularly as you said at the start. It's the place you've chosen to work and the world you've chosen to be in, and to feel like it's never enough or it's always undercut must feel horrible. Must be awful.
Yeah, and I think that even the most well-intentioned people within this sphere, like our friends, us, like me, like you, we all have blind spots. And so it's really hard to call out those not even call out, just point out, to have discussions about those blind spots without people just getting really defensive. And it's just, yeah, it's really difficult watching like the entire year, but like watching like so many stories just get swept under the rug because we can't be bothered dealing with it that week.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we all get it.
It's being the biggest week in the year. It brings these things up, and no one wants to talk about them. They just want to talk about who wins, who loses. But this is the week when all of the things that come out about the AFL, the things that are still so, or just sport generally, need to be fixed or need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And thank you for speaking so openly about it as well. And I think the way you speak, I don't think I've ever heard anyone in this sphere talk like this or talk to this depth about it, and it's really, really important.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing it.
Thank you.
And I think any of the boys listening, like it means a lot. It means heaps, and
yeah.
hear it.
But even just like doing that ABC article, like I see all the comments and they're like 70% women. And it's always just the women because I guess they get it, doing all the heavy lifting. But the flip side of that, and I will like the cost to me will never be the most important thing. But the cost of always writing these articles and doing this stuff is that my social media is just, I just see the worst of the worst. And like reading all of those comments, it's not even just like, oh, these people are saying nasty things. Even because I get asked about trolling all the time and how do you deal with it. And it's like, okay, well, it's not the things that people say about me. It's just that I know that people feel this way about women that I share my space with. And that makes me so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And also because I know that those people have other people in their lives that are being on the receiving end of this. Hard to stomach.
Mm.
Would you like a good news story?
I just thank you again for sharing it. And, I think we can all do more and all advocate for more help and support. And I'd just say on the men's side as well, going into the weekend, there has been marked as an increase. Is like, I personally feel like there's no friends of mine who would ever treat women that way, but I don't know for sure. And I'm always just being vocal and checking and being proactive about it. I think particularly on this weekend is particularly important.
But it's more than that, because it's more than saying it's a perpetuation of attitudes towards women, including stereotypes of women.
Yep.
Our friends do this. We know this. We see it. Like, even if, like, yeah, I wouldn't be friends with anyone who has gender-based violence, but I do have friends who say and make comments that, and it's just like, sometimes you call them out and sometimes they get really defensive and sometimes they're like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't mean to say that. I'll take it on board. But I think it's so easy to say, I don't have any friends that are involved in this, when we all do.
It's a good point too. I mean, yeah, the comedy world is such a big part of it as well. It's a good point.
AFLW?
Yeah.
Quickly. Ebony Marinoff and Ali Anderson will make it to 100 games, which is genuinely a remarkable feat, because it has taken 10 seasons to get to that milestone. It's kind of crazy to think that these players that we saw back in 2017 are just making it to 100 games. Obviously, they have been helped a lot by both Adelaide and Brisbane playing more games than any other club, because they have consistently been in finals.
Yeah. Yes, 100. It does help. And I want to figure out what the mother-daughter, mother-son rule will be, because they are the equivalent of like 200-300 games for both of these players. I think they've been around for so long. So what's the equivalent?
Yeah, I'm also very excited to see eventual mother-son, mother-daughter. There's a lot of trade stories that are bubbling away, but I feel like we should maybe leave them until we can give them actual weight and just talk about the thing everyone wants to talk about, which is the AFL Men's Granny.
Sure, let's do it.
All right, so this is the first time Chris Scott and Chris Fagan will go head-to-head in a grand final. Geelong will play in their 7th decider in 19 seasons. And reigning Premier Brisbane is in their 3rd consecutive grand final. So as you've mentioned quite a lot, these are two teams we're used to seeing in the grand final. I think it is an interesting argument that whoever wins, can they kind of stake claim to being the best club of this quarter century? Because either one, it'll be the 5th win since 2000.
That's interesting. Yeah, because Geelong have probably just been around it for the longest period of time. But Brisbane went up, dominated, and then dropped off and then back again. So, yeah, that's a really interesting... It's two different ways of going at it. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, so the Age had a really good breakdown of each line against the opposition one. So, like, Lions backline, v Cats forward, et cetera, et cetera. And I just, if you're really interested in that kind of stuff, go read it, because I genuinely found it very fascinating. There's no way we can go through all the players and all the lines, but it was very entertaining.
That is one nice thing about the grand final is, for me at least, I get to watch it with the most like critical eye, because you listen to all these things and you see all the matchups and go, you can see all the micro little things that are you don't do that for all 900 other games in the year.
Yes. Oh, and it's so like having two teams go up against each other. It's having two good teams go up against each other is so satisfying when just like watching them run out and being like, who's going on who. It's just even just being like, well, Harris Andrews going Jeremy Cameron. Like, that's so exciting to think about.
Yes.
Starting with the Cats. The Cats are on an 8-match winning streak, and that includes their 38-point win over Brisbane in the qualifying finals. The big storyline with Tom Stewart obviously out for concussion, and I think you made a very good point that the worst thing for that is that he has concussion. It is not that he's missing a grand final. Who goes in for him? So Reece Stanley or Mark Blitzarves is the obvious potential, but I mean, who knows? And a really good storyline for them is that Max Holmes will be playing because he, of course, missed the 2022 Grand Final with a hamstring despite passing every test. Chris Scott was not going to take a risk playing him, and it was a really kind of heartbreaking miss. But he'll be in this one.
And then Oscar McInerney on the other side, I guess, is the same story as well with his dislocated shoulder. Sorry to jump ahead, but yeah, it's two team players who, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like Oscar McInerney was one of the good stories of last year without him even playing in it because he was just so chuffed to be there. And even the women, I remember the women that game, Talia Hickey made a big O when she kicked a goal, which also shows the cross club integration, which we love.
Because he helps with that team, doesn't he?
He does. He helps.
The W Grand Final, I remember he was there.
Yeah. Fagan has now passed Lee Matthews' record of 18 finals at the Lions after he coached their win over Collingwood on Saturday, which I feel is crazy.
That is crazy.
That is crazy because Lethal is held in such high regard. They have the same winning percentage as well of 60%. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
That's unbelievable that he's already there at the same time.
And if they win, they'll be the fourth side this century to go back-to-back, which is a especially impressive feat, I think, when you look at the fact that all of the reigning premiers of the last few years haven't even been playing finals.
Yeah.
And to even go back-to-back in a grand final, 3 years in a grand final is unbelievably...
Yeah. A few kicks off a back-to-back-to-back.
Lachie Neale looks like he is set to play. Caro reported on Tuesday night that he is looking like he will play. That decision won't be confirmed until the teams come out on Thursday, but he has been looking exceptionally well on the track, and I'm really enjoying all of the packages just really zooming in on his calves. I know that it is a calf issue, but it's very funny to be the biggest calves in the game, and we're just going to show them on repeat.
Very thick calves. But then Berry was potentially going to be out though, is that right? There was no chance that Berry was going to play.
I mean, we don't know yet before the teams, and I assume that he will be making a very strong case for himself as to why he should, but his dislocated shoulder, it's the second time in 4 games that he's dislocated the shoulder, which makes him a bigger risk in my opinion, because Lockie's obviously shown that he can get through training and he can run, and he's been very visible in showing that he is okay, where Berry is someone who you need to rely on to tackle a lot and be a really defensive player. And if it's your shoulder, I think that's a harder risk to take in.
Do you remember a few years ago, it would have been in the 2010s in the VFL Grand Final, Lin Jong had a dislocated shoulder. It was a problem, and they taped it up for the Grand Final. And Casey came out and targeted the shoulder and started hitting him. Trick was, it was his other shoulder. So he went out and taped up the wrong shoulder. How clever was that?
That is genuinely very clever.
Yeah.
Didn't Luke Hodge do that with his broken ribs as well? I'm pretty sure he did, yeah.
He taped them, but he's wearing a Guernsey anyway.
Yeah, but they leaked that it was the right ribs or whatever, and it was the left ribs. I'm pretty sure. Does that ring a bell?
Makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, so they kept smacking him in the broken ribs, but they were the good ribs.
I mean, I get it, but it makes me feel sick to think you can target someone who is injured.
I have no interest in hurting anyone, especially like that.
Well, when you look at the most famous one is the coach of Carlton now playing for the Lions. If you forget, Chris Scott was an icon of the.
Sure.
So Brad and Chris Scott, the day that Nick Riewoldt, the new skipper of St Kilda in the 2000s, he let out, dislocated his shoulder, and he wasn't getting off the ground. So the Scott brothers, both of them, like a pack of lions, were hitting his shoulder as he was trying to get off the ground. They were thuggish, those two. They were shocking. And now they both go to Essendon and Geelong. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if there's any semi-injured players that are at risk, because I feel like it hasn't paid off in recent finals, but you're taking Lachie Neale if he's even at 50%?
Oh, yeah.
But I saw our friend of the pod, Polly, tweet that as a Sydney supporter, she hates seeing people rush back.
I agree.
Potentially injured players. So.
Well, Scott Pendlebury in the prelim.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't be so sure. I think it's a great point from Polly.
Yes, I agree, except that the Lions list is very different to Sydney's list when it comes to health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of all I've got.
No, that's good. That's good. Shall we crack in with a little bit of tipping?
Tipping. Tipping.
It's a long one. 10 games. We only have to tip now.
Oh, yeah.
10. So we'll start with the grand final for the AFL. The Toyota, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Big Mac meal,
Harvey
Norman grand final. I forgot who I tipped on Sunday in our projection.
How
You
could you
tipped Geelong.
forget? You just wouldn't shut up about how Geelong are going to win everything always.
But I still can't remember. I'm very curious to see where you're sitting on this.
I feel like Geelong should be the favourites, and I will think that. Yeah, I mean, I find it. Oh my goodness, I'm struggling to see how Geelong don't win this, but I mean, anything can happen on a day like grand final, and I would love to see Brizzy get out. It's just that Geelong, I mean, they've booted more than 100 points in each of their last 8 matches. And they have such a good spread of goal kickers. It's not like they're over-relying on anyone. How do you shut down a forward line like that? Where, like, the Lions, without Hipwood, without Danaher, they're putting a lot of reliance on Logan Morris as the tall, and then you got a bunch of smalls that have to do the work. Like, if Geelong kick away, I just don't know if Lions can kick to the same extent.
Yeah. I'm desperate for this game to be good. I really am.
Yeah.
But I think just because I'm so much of the media I've heard this week has been, I reckon Lions will win, just makes me think that Geelong are going to win by 150 points. And because everyone wants Brisbane kind of to win. It's crazy because they're the reigning premiers, but most people I see want Brisbane to win. So I think Geelong will win by 150 points. How about you?
Oh, strong Brisbane, just to believe.
To believe?
Yeah, to believe.
They lost to them the other week.
Yeah.
That is the one variable for me, is that I feel like maybe Geelong showed all of their cards. So now Brisbane is the counter offer here.
And I think Geelong's like bogey team. Is it bogey team? Bogey team. Bogey team.
I like to dance with them.
And
Boogie.
obviously Cats beat Lions last time they played, but they won't be at Cardinia Park this time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree that, yes, Brisbane did lose like 3 weeks ago to the Cats. But the thing about my Brisbane is that I just think they've been Jekyll and Hyde for like 3 years. It depends what Brisbane show up, and I believe that mentally the right Brisbane will show up and they'll get it done.
Do you have a Norm Smith prediction?
Oh, Bailey Smith. No, that's so boring. I mean, Paddy Dangerfield could get it if Geelong, like if he has a game like he had in the prelims.
Absolutely.
Who's like a left of field answer?
Whiskers Hocking, which was a player from Geelong in the 90s who changed his name legally to Whiskers because of the cat food for money.
Okay.
That's funny. Yes.
Give it to Harris Andrews. That's
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harris Andrews in defence, that would be mammoth. I wonder who the judges are. Surely Kate Mack got a call up.
Do you know? I mean, they change it every year.
Yeah.
She was on the Anzac Day medal, so maybe not. Don't know.
Yeah.
That could be a little rehearsal.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna tip. I'm still staying on Bailey Smith.
I think trying to think of a left of centre one. I think Zach Bailey is the sort of player that could rotate through the mid, get 30, and then kick 4.
And he's been linked to Essendon, hasn't he? Go Zach Bailey. Go Zach Bailey.
It's just like the left of field ones that you don't expect. I know he's very capable of tearing a game open, so why not?
Hope you all have a wonderful day watching the game. I hope it's good. We'll do a show that night. We'll do a debrief. Now, round 7, starting to take shape.
Mm-hmm.
There's starting to be certainties and starting to be proper good teams in the W, and then there's starting to be teams who we're learning about.
Yeah.
Is what I would say. But the one thing I saw Riley Beveridge, Kate Mack, and Mel Hickey talking about it, about some teams are putting out the old we're inexperienced, that's why we're losing thing.
Yeah.
And they came back and said everyone's inexperienced. Every team's young. Carlton's young.
Yeah.
Carlton's 6th, and they're as young as everyone else. Swans use the we're an inexperienced card, and they're still sitting 5th as well. Anyway, shall we start?
Yeah.
Geelong, Hawthorn, Friday night?
Thursday night.
Tonight at GMHBA Stadium. Oh, and this is the game, if you go to it, there's 2 free tickets on the line to the men's grand final. So they'll get a good turnout for this game.
Hopefully. I mean, I feel like they should have done a lot more marketing for it. But yeah, I agree.
There should be. I feel that Geelong fans will, that don't usually go to games might go to this one and
Hopefully.
watch Geelong lose to Hawthorn.
No. I disagree. I feel like Geelong has this.
Yeah, sitting in the eighth?
So,
Tell me about it.
Geelong started poorly on the score sheet and on the win and losers tally, but they had a really hard start, and now they have started to win and comprehensively, and they can also score. And Hawthorn have won a lot of games, but with very low scoring. They've really had a lot of trouble putting goals. And they've got people, they've got people out, but the ones that they've won have been like by less than a goal kind of vibes, and Geelong are just like looking mint.
I like that. Looking mint. Who are you tipping?
I tipped Geelong as well. I got 8 last week. I'm up to 4,000th out of 14, so watch out for me.
Oh, you jumped up to 4,000?
Yeah, because I got 8. 8's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
You've changed my tip. I'm going to go Cats too.
That's
Casey Fields, D's versus Suns. No one's giving you a chance, Tom, and I agree. But I would turn it on just for Harris. Harris is becoming a legit, like great to watch player. That one goal, that goal out of the pack the other night was fantastic.
And you mean Havana, not the Harris that will be playing on your team?
Yeah, no, it's a battle of Harrises. But can I say, I went to Casey, and watching Eden Zanker play one out and just clunk everything was incredible. Like I was so happy to see, because Zanker also is not like she can play key forward, but she's a midfielder who goes down there a fair bit. I was so happy. It's so cool. I became friends with an old man. We were both talking about it.
Do you think he also said that?
Oh, what's that?
Made friends with an old man?
No, Marnie. He said a young, handsome man.
Okay, we're
Couldn't have
both-
been 25.
both veterans.
Which is also weird to say, I think. If he, but if you're watching, sir, I miss you. I love you. Next game. Could have been more interesting earlier in the year, but not anymore. North versus Essendon at Windy Hill.
Yeah.
This on the. Did we go to this game last year, Marnie? You and I. Do you remember our day out last year?
Yeah. No, that was
Friday?
Essendon, Melbourne, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but it was a Windy Hill on
Oh,
the
yeah.
grand final holiday, and then we went and did the project,
Oh, yeah.
and they made you change your
Clothes.
your clothes because
No invite this year.
No project. They've been.
we've
No, I
outlived
was
the
going to make a
project.
joke. For a moment.
But North, go down to Windy Hill, have some chips, and watch a shellacking.
It might be a record. They might get the highest win ever.
We can hope.
Well,
We can hope.
yeah, you can hope.
Also, that evening, we've got at Icon Park, which will be a good game. Fremantle over here. And it's a pretty even match as far as tipping goes. Carlton versus Fremantle. I want to go to this game and see Carlton put it on.
Yeah.
Put on a show.
Yeah.
They have 2. Have we got 4 rising stars so far? 5?
Well,
From
it's
Carlton?
round
No, we've got
7.
2 Carlton rising star nominees out of 5 nominees or
So it's
something.
round
Oh,
7,
right,
so
right.
there'd be
Yeah.
6.
Sophie, McKay, and Poppy Schultz.
Yep. Poppy Schultz as well. No one bidded on Sophie McKay. So they got Poppy Schultz with that pick because no one put in a bid for Sophie McKay. So the reason they've got these 2 stars
Crazy.
is because they could have bidded on Poppy. They've got Poppy Schultz
As a
free.
father-daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're coming, Carlton.
I know. I'm so excited.
I'm tipping Carlton.
Yes, yeah, same.
Yep.
Doggies, you're going to this game. You're working at Mission Whitten Oval. Doggies versus Collingwood. You got to tip Collingwood, but
It's interesting.
no.
Crazy how it's 90% going with Collingwood. That's
Centra's
what's interesting.
coming good now.
Yeah.
It's looking really good now. Who do you think?
Yeah. Also, I was pretty bullish that Collingwood were going to be risers at the start of the season, and so I would like to be proven right.
They could still do. It's so funny this season. Like the weighted fixturing really does affect the ladder. I think in a positive way, to be honest, as well, because you're seeing you're seeing Richmond drop and you're seeing other teams rise, but it is hard to gauge who is properly good and who is properly bad. Who are you doing?
I guess I'll go with Collingwood. I think you talked me into it.
St Kilda Port. St Kilda after a big win. I've forgotten their name. Who with the headband for St Kilda? Wardlaw. Jesse Wardlaw. That snap goal was incredible watching that. Where she's going out of bands, ducks around, snaps. She's awesome. That was so
Yeah.
good.
Saints have a really good vibe to them.
Yeah. I'm going St Kilda.
Same.
Yeah.
Unley Oval the day after the grand final, as is the St Kilda Port game. Adelaide and Swans, Unley Oval, Crows, everyone's going them. A lot of people are going them. Do you think Swans can bounce back?
Yeah. I mean, not against Crows in this particular game.
Broden, they're very young and inexperienced.
When it suits them.
Well, do you know that Crows only have 5 players left from their 2017 side? I know so I know that 2017 was a while ago, but all of these consistently strong teams look very different than how they looked just a few years ago.
In the men's as well, Geelong's difference between the team that won their last grand final, which was only like 3 years ago, they've only got like 7 players who has played in that team. Isn't that
That is
crazy?
fascinating. You wouldn't think that.
No.
Yeah, I'll go Crows.
Crows.
Brisbane, Richmond, Brighton home.
Brisbane.
Christ. My thinking as well is this is 3:00 in the afternoon. The day, would this be also a cup ceremony around here or something like that?
Oh,
Or
On
they'd be
Sunday.
competing, which is odd. right?
unless Brisbane fly home and they... What did they do last year? Brunswick Street Oval. Oh.
Oh, they're at
Oh.
Curious about
Because if Lions won and then they took the cup to the W game vibes, but whatever.
I feel like I remember something like that happening. I could have
same.
made it up. And then the last game of the round, West Coast versus Giants. This tipping that people are doing is also completely whacked out. West Coast Giants, have got into a little bit of form.
No, I think you're down on West Coast because of their performance against D's. I still think they're good.
No, 93% of people are tipping West Coast. Are you saying I am?
Yeah.
They didn't throw. They were bad.
Yeah, I know. I think they're still good. I think they just went good on the weekend.
They up until 3/4 time didn't kick a goal.
Yeah.
The scoreboard really flattered them because in that last quarter, Melbourne just put the rack away, but the cue in the rack. They didn't put the rack away.
It's so hard because in my mind, I'm like, they smacked the Suns. Suns and GWS are probably on a similar wavelength as far as development. So they should smack them.
Okay, I'll go West Coast off that.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same? Do you feel like they're properly good?
Yeah.
They could not get their hands on it though. That was weird. Is it just Melbourne were good?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And that's okay, mate.
Well, that's a happy ending. Me and that old guy will be wrapped. Well, it's another great week of football. It's worth saying that Tom and I are going on World Tour. We've got a very wonderful fill-in. Can I say?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hester Brown is going to be filling in for us in the weeks we're away. Hester's fantastic. Loves talking footy. Very excited. Please join in while we'll be doing little fill-in bits as well. We'll be doing reports from overseas, but also stick around if you haven't stuck around for the W before. We implore you to please come and join us for the rest of the year. It's going to be fantastic. Hester's great. Marnie's fantastic. But yeah, thank you so much for being with us this year. It's going to be a great grand final. Thank you, Marnie. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Bounce that pill. And thank you, everyone.
I'll put in my TAC.
Time for comment engagement. Everyone being lovely in the chat. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined in. Join us after the final siren for the Queensland Fan Day, where the AFL team will present to discuss the grand final, and sign autographs from 5 p.m. Secure your ticket to the AFLW game to ensure your spot. So it looks like it's part of it.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, if the team stay in Melbourne, what do you reckon the team will go?
No, they're saying they're going either way to discuss what happened the day before.
Sorry.
That's funny.
So we're discuss losing or have a cup with them.
They just wheel out just those players being like, how was that?
All right, guys. We'll crack out of here. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined in and been with us all year watching these. We'll see you for the next few weeks. It'll be fantastic. Say hi to Hester for me when she's in here. Marnie, thank you.
Thank you.
See you.